All right, in this video, we are going to go over the qualifiers that we use in the Scribeware Home Inspection Report. We're going to talk a little bit about why we have them and how easy it is to change them. So we're just looking at a finished report here, and you can see where the summary page is all up here, and these are a bunch of the qualifiers that we used in the report. So you can just click on Major Concerns, and you can start to see the major concerns in the report. You can click the repairs, and you're going to start to see the repair item, as well as improvement items. Due diligence items would be items that you could seek additional inspection on to learn more. An example of one that I use all the time for due diligence would be, buried oil tank. I don't know whether it's a problem or not. You need to do some additional research on that. So part of the reason that we devise the summary page like this is a common liability you hear for home inspectors is if you build a partial summary page that doesn't include all of your comments on the home inspection, the risk is that the client could come back at you and say, we only read the summary page, we didn't realize all these things were here. So in the Scribeware Home Inspection Report, every observation you make will end up in the summary page. Now, I would distinguish that from description items or no modifier items, so we have an ability to add plenty of things to the report that don't show up in the summary page. But if you're calling it a major concern, a repair, an improvement item, a due diligence item, these things, all of them will end up in the report. And if you were to just print out the summary page, even in a really long report, you'd find that because we don't include the pictures, you have a condensed summary page that's rarely more than about 10 pages or so, and often less than that. So that's kind of the logic, is that it gives us a summary page that is dense. It includes everything, and it could be printed separately to create kind of a smaller, more manageable report. So a lot of real estate agents like just printing off the summary page. Now, when you're reading this HTML version, if the summary page is inadequate and you want the pictures, you can click on these little hot links, and that's going to bring you right into the report, and now you start seeing the pictures as well. So now that you've seen a finished report and you understand why we use these qualifiers, let's just talk a little bit about how you can use them in the report. So this is one of the observations we were looking at, and you can always just come and, if you click right where it says major concern, you could change this. You could call it an improvement item, call it a due diligence item. So on the fly, it's easy to change the qualifier you want to use. So no problem there. Now let's just add a new comment. We'll use our keyword search, and we'll start typing in wood decay. So here, localized rot repairs are needed. So this is just a regular repair item, but let's say there was a lot of rot and you wanted to emphasize it more. You could change it to a major concern. Now notice when I changed it, in your library there's the little asterisk star. So if you wanted localized rot repairs to by default always show up as a major concern, you could just hit update library. I find more often than not I'm using my localized rot repairs needed for just a few little spots of rot, and I probably have a different comment for a lot of problems with wood decay on the outside of a building, so I'll probably leave it as a repair item. But in that way, every comment that you make, you can give it a default qualifier, and that's what it'll show up with the next time you use it. To see a complete list of all the qualifiers we use, you could just click on here. So the ones that come preloaded are major concern, a repair item, improvement item, an item to monitor, a due diligence item, meaning additional research is needed, a future project. Efficiency, we put these ones in for, if a house has an older amount of attic insulation, it's hard to call that a repair item. It's sort of how it was built, but you can give clients energy efficiency tips with using the green qualifier. Completed items I'll use for re-inspections sometimes. So if I've come back and an item is completed, I could actually come and do this. We could call it a completed item, and you can even highlight all the text if you want to. And then you hit this little cross out line that crosses it out. There's many different ways to handle re-inspections, but that's one of them. You could call it a note. Now we've got these two bottom ones are important to understand. Let's get rid of this. We'll just bring up another one, a clean one here. So we'll go back to our localized rot repairs. So both description and no modifier. Now these allow the home inspector to add information in the report that does not go to the summary page. So an example would be up at the top here. I wanted to put in some elevations of this house, and I just used a no modifier, and that doesn't end up in the summary, and it's just kind of a holding place where I can put some exterior elevation shots. Descriptions. So I'll just give you a couple quick samples of just some descriptions. So let's say you're in the plumbing section and you're doing the water heater. We all know that we don't test the temperature pressure relief valve, or most of us don't. I believe it's required in Texas. You can see this is listed as blue. So I would, doing my inspection, look for a pressure that a relief valve, a TPRV, is present, and I'm going to say it's not tested. Well, now I have this description language that automatically shows up, and it says that these are important safety devices and that I don't test them, and there's a reason that I don't test them, that they could leak, and so that language automatically comes up as a description. I'll just give you one more example, but let's go to the heating and cooling section, and we could, under heating method, gas forced air furnace. As soon as I click that, I get a nice little diagram of what a heat exchanger looks like, and I have a heat exchanger limitation built in. This is, again, some nice language that is just being more specific about what the client's buying, that you have a gas forced air furnace that's got a heat exchanger that's all built inside the furnace, and we can't see it, and that's why we don't inspect it. It's not part of a home inspection. So that's some examples of how you can use descriptions as one of your modifiers. So I hope that makes sense as kind of a brief overview of just using the description, the qualifiers that we've got built into Scribeware. If you want some additional qualifiers, you can reach out to us, and we can build some other things for you on the back end. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps.